The jet cut through the sky like a blade, slicing towards something no one could see coming. There were only 5 people on board, and one of them wasn't supposed to be there. She stared out the window, her reflection fractured by frost. The clouds thickened. Then, a jolt. Luggage flew. The lights blinked once, then died. The pilot's voice cracked over the intercom. Brace. Now. Imminente. Her hand reached for the armrest, too late. And then, fire. Steel turned. Screaming silence. The mountain swallowed the jet whole. Only one breath remained, trembling in the snow. She woke to silence, except for the crackle of flame. Smoke curled from the torn fuselage, painting the snow black. Her ears rang. Her ribs screamed. She crawled, hands frozen, eyes searching for someone, anyone. 5 were on board, but she was alone. The others were gone, burned, buried. She screamed into the trees, her voice eaten by wind. A phone, crushed, useless. Then she saw it, a briefcase wedged beneath a wing, untouched by fire, and something inside told her not to leave it behind. The case clicked open like it was daring her. Inside, papers, sealed envelopes, a USB drive, and a photo. A politician she recognized, smiling beside masked men in a warehouse. Her breath caught. This wasn't business. This was blackmail. Every instinct told her to run, to leave it. But then she saw her name, in the corner of one file. This wasn't just a crash. She was meant to die with the rest. Who knew she survived? Who needed her gone? Snow began to fall, slow and silent, like a warning. And she realized the crash was only the beginning. She wrapped the documents in plastic and shoved them under her coat. Every step through the snow felt like dragging a secret behind her. Her lips cracked from cold. Her fingers barely moved. But she couldn't stop, not now. The nearest town was over 10 miles away, if her map memory was right. Wolves howled. Or maybe it was something else. Behind her, the wreckage still smoked, still whispered. She turned once and saw tracks that weren't hers. Someone had followed the crash. Someone was out there, and they weren't coming to rescue her. 2 days later, she found it. A ranger station, half buried in snow. Her knuckles bled as she banged on the door. A man opened it, scruffy, wide-eyed, holding a rifle. He didn't ask questions, just pulled her in and locked the door. "You from that jet?" he asked, already knowing the answer. She nodded. He didn't smile. "They came looking last night," he whispered, "but not to help you." Her stomach turned. "Who?" He didn't answer. He just pointed to a screen showing grainy night footage. Men in black circling the crash. They hadn't left footprints, but cameras don't lie. The footage played on loop. The masked figures moved like they'd done it before. They didn't search for survivors, the ranger said. They looked for something. Her eyes locked onto one frame. A man pulling the briefcase from the snow. But she still had it. So what had they taken? The ranger handed her a satellite phone. "Call. Then we destroy it." She dialed a number she hadn't used in years. Her sister's burner line. No answer. Just static. Then a click. A voice, low and cold. "You shouldn't be alive." She dropped the phone. Her heart raced like it remembered something she didn't. And the ranger? He was already locking every bolt on the door. The ranger had old supplies, firewood, and questions he didn't ask. She spread the documents across the floor, chasing meaning through fear. A photo slipped out. Her father, standing behind that same politician. He was supposed to be dead. For 15 years. Buried records. Coded bank transfers. A name she hadn't heard since childhood. Project Novex. Oh, it wasn't a crash. It was cleanup. She whispered the name like it could summon answers or danger. The ranger leaned in. You're not just a survivor, you're a loose end. And suddenly she wasn't sure if he meant that as protection or a threat. Memories returned like fire through frost. She was 9, hiding behind crates, holding her breath. Men shouted in code, papers flew, and her father was afraid. That plane wasn't for testing. It was for vanishing people. She had seen too much, so her family disappeared, or pretended to. But someone kept the files. Someone waited all these years. And when her firm got too close in their audit, the flight was arranged. That wasn't a client meeting. It was an execution. The real cargo on that jet wasn't money. It was her body. And now she knew why she'd never been allowed to remember. That night, the blizzard hit hard, but not hard enough to hide them. Headlights cut through the snow. A black SUV. No engine noise. The ranger grabbed his shotgun. She grabbed the case. No time, he said. Through the back. Now. She hesitated. Come with me. He shook his head. I've seen this before. They don't miss twice. As she slipped out into the snow, she saw him face the door, gun raised. Behind her, a single shot cracked the silence. She didn't look back. Couldn't. Because someone out there still needed her dead, and they were getting closer. She ran until her lungs tore at her ribs. Then silence, except for boots crunching above her head. She pressed against the ice, holding her breath as shadows passed. One man paused, turned. A beam of light skimmed the snow. She counted heartbeats, prayed, waited. Then, the crunch of boots fading away. She didn't cry. She couldn't afford to. The case dug into her side, cold and heavy with truth. She had no map, no plan, only what she remembered from before. And even those memories were starting to betray her. She reached a roadside motel. Broken sign, no cameras. The clerk didn't ask questions. She liked that. Inside, she unfolded the blood-stained map she'd stolen years ago. One town was circled in red. Raven Hollow. That's where it started. That's where it would end. She picked up a burner phone. Dialed one number. Her sister's real line. It rang once, then, "Where the hell have you been?" She didn't answer, just whispered, "They're still cleaning it up." Her sister went silent, then said one word, "Run." But she didn't want to run anymore. She wanted to finish it. The address led her to an abandoned church outside Raven Hollow. The stained glass was broken. The altar, gone. A man in priest's robes tossed papers into a burning barrel. She stepped inside. He didn't look up. "You're late," he said. "They're watching everything now." She slammed the case on the pew. "Tell me what Project Novex is." He stared at her. "It's not what. It's who." "You," he said. "You were born into it." Her knees buckled. The fire hissed beside her. And suddenly her whole life felt manufactured. The folder was thick, sealed with wax, labeled Subject 9. She peeled it open and stared at a photo of herself. Age 7, test scores, behavioral logs, psychological notes. "You weren't adopted," the priest said softly. "You were selected." Her hands trembled, pages blurred. This was human engineering. Every job, every friendship, even her favorite food, assigned. She wasn't just targeted by the crash. She was created to be on that plane. And the worst part? There were more like her. Some never left the program. Some never wanted to. We are one. He led her down beneath the church, a tunnel, then steel doors. Behind them, blinking servers, live feeds, names tagged in red. "This is where the last whistleblowers died," he said. She stepped closer. On one screen, her sister's face. They'd been watching both of them. "You were the leak," he added. "You just didn't remember." She'd triggered the audit, unlocked old files, doomed the plane. The truth was, they tried to kill her because she'd already exposed them. Her blood ran cold. She whispered, "Then why am I still alive?" And he answered, "Because one of them changed their mind." Hundreds of miles away, in a dark control room, someone was watching. A monitor flickered. Her face, eyes full of fire now. A gloved hand hovered over a switch labeled "Cleanse," but it didn't press. Instead, the figure leaned closer to the screen and whispered her name. Not her legal name, the one from the file. Behind them, another agent stepped forward. "She's too close." The figure shook their head. "She deserves the truth, but truth wasn't safe. Not in their world." And once the switch was flipped, there'd be no going back. She followed the final coordinates to a forgotten cemetery. There, beneath a dead tree, was her name carved in stone. Date of birth, date of death, the same day the plane crashed. They'd already buried her, already erased her. She wasn't missing. She was officially gone. Her phone buzzed. One new message. "They know you found the site." The grave shook as thunder rolled overhead. She looked at her name one last time and smiled. They thought I'd buried a secret, but they'd just awakened a storm. She reached the old airstrip just before midnight. A private jet sat on the tarmac, engines humming. She recognized the tail number. Same owner as the first crash. A man stepped out. Suit dyed wide sp. Scar. No expression. "You're not supposed to be here," he said. She raised a flare gun. "Neither are you. You can't stop this," he growled. "It's bigger than you." She fired. The flare shot over the jet, a signal. Lights flared across the horizon. Back up. Her sister had come through. The man ran, but he was too late. The sky was no longer his. By dawn, the servers were ash. The briefcase, emptied and burned. She watched the flames rise like they were lifting something off her chest. Every copy, every file, every trace of Novex, gone. But not the memory, not the scars. Her sister stepped beside her, silent, safe. "What now?" she asked. She stared at the sunrise. "Nof, I start over. For real this time." But deep down she knew. Some parts of her were still buried. And maybe that was the point. Because sometimes the only way to live is to let the world believe you died.